Okay. Hare Krishna devotees, we are very fortunate to have a very special speaker among us, His Grace Radha Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj does not need any introduction for the benefit of new devotees who have joined, and also for our purification. Here is a brief introduction. Radha Krishna Maharaj is an initiating spiritual master, monk, mentor, and spiritual teacher primarily based on Houston. He travels all over the world, Australia, China, Hong Kong, Singapore, and America, giving talks on spiritual subjects from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. He is also an authority for the Vedic studies in Texas area. We are truly blessed to have Maharaj's association today. With that, let us welcome Radha Krishna Maharaj by loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra one time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Shodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Shodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari 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 Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Devasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare
Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivajraya Aswatara Shishi Nariswan Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gaurang. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. See many familiar faces, couple of new people. Nice to be here and I was told today Brother Satyasa wants me to talk about how to become, actually means to be a good devotee, basically, how to practice and so on. One of the books that Srila Prabhupada has required any devotee to study, particularly for the Bhakti Shastri and so on. And it's a book written by Srila Rupa Goswami. It's called Shri Upadeshamrita. So we will do a few verses from there and discuss, because that will give you how you can practice, at the same time prepare yourself to become a better devotee, as well as how you can conduct yourself also among devotees, within devotees also. Yeah. So if you want to pull up the books, you can look it up on your iPad or iPhone, online, whatever, right? So the first next one, you can chant with me. Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam. Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam. Jiva vegam udara pasta vegam. Jiva vegam udara pasta vegam. Itan veganyo vishaheta dhiraha. Itan veganyo vishaheta dhiraha. Sarvam apimam prithivim sasishya. Sarvam apimam prithivim sasishya. Translation: a sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the actions of anger, and the urges of the tongue, belly, and genitals is qualified to make disciples all over the world. You can repeat after me. A sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the actions of anger, and the urges of the tongue, belly, and genitals, is qualified to make disciples all over the world. Hey, that's a pretty strong statement there by Rupa Goswami. Now, if you are practicing at least the first 7 verses is very applicable for your progress in Krishna consciousness. The beginner, as a sadhaka, means one who is practicing. So if you can follow these 7 nicely, then the other subsequent ones are pretty at a higher stage of consciousness. But to come to that stage, you need to practice this first 4. At least the first 4 you need to do properly. That is on how you control your senses, and then the things you do, the things you don't do. That means accepting certain things, rejecting certain things, and then how you associate with devotees. So this 4 is very important for all sadhana bhaktas. So it's very important. So in this particular verse, you can see, and in the purport, Srila Prabhupada actually highlights many nice things. Basically, what I want to touch on is to make you understand. You can read the purports on your own later on, and I'm sure you've gone through this many times already. But what I want to say is that sinful activity cannot be counteracted by pious activity. Okay? Just be very clear about that. You can minimize the reactions, but the propensity to sin you cannot remove by pious activity. You understand? The desire that you have in the heart, you cannot get rid of just because you do some pious activity. Okay? Like let's say you like to drink alcohol a lot, but you want to do some puja to get rid of that reaction. That's okay, but the taste hasn't gone, no? So Prabhupada gives examples of how, sometimes people go to the temple, ask the pujari, please pray for me, I've sinned, or others go to church, they tell, to confess. So there are different ways people want to counteract, but they don't want to give up their sinful propensities or tendencies. Yeah. So that is, atonement is also called prayaschita. Right? We do prayaschita, right? Sometimes, just like Prabhupada's mother also, she was thinking that her son will get very sick, and so she started to take a vow and started eating with her left hand. She made a vow, I will only stop when my son asks me, why are you eating in your left hand? So after a few years, Prabhupada asked his mother, why are you eating? Then she immediately started. So it's like they pray, if nothing should happen to him, and when certain thing happen, we change. So it's interesting. There are many pious activities you can do. In general, if you do something wrong, you can also do some austerity. Like half-day fasting, intermittent fasting. Right? You can do all kinds of austerity also. Even now you can do that, because austerities will minimize your reactions also. It purifies you actually. But all these activities you do, although it purifies you, it doesn't get rid of the tendency or the cause of your sinful propensity. That thing is still there. So the real prayaschita, or real atonement, you can say, is actually to awaken your Krishna consciousness. Okay. We all have that. Okay, Mame Vangsa Jiva Loka Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. There's a verse in Bhagavad Gita. We all, Mama Angsa, Krishna says, my Angsa, that means my part and parcel or expansion. We are actually expansions of Krishna. We are tiny, tiny Krishnas, but no potency. All right, so, but we have a purpose also. We are expansions who are meant to serve. Actually, that's our purpose. But we also have a tendency to become distracted. So, although we were expanded to serve, we were distracted to enjoy ourselves. Because we were thinking, why have to serve? So, therefore, Krishna says, no problem. You can go to this material universe, I'll create for you. And then he says, stay there. And that's a price to pay, right? There's no such thing as a free meal economics. And if you go to a supermarket, you want to buy something, it's not for free, If they say it's everything free, there's nothing in the supermarket. Right? Prabhupada gives the example that if a cart of rice bags are going and a bag falls down and the bag breaks, right, a little bit, and the rice will come out, what will happen is the animals will come and they'll take a little bit and they'll go away. The birds will come, the insects will come, the ants, everyone will take little and go only. But if a man comes, he'll take the whole bag and go home. So similarly, if there is a free this, free that, it's gone. Nothing will be free. So therefore, because of that, you have to put a price tag, and then supply and demand factors allow you to only purchase what you can afford. Right? So in the same way, when we awaken our Krishna consciousness, then we understand that these tendencies that I have is not aligned with Krishna's desire. Although we left Krishna, when we come into this material universe, we get bewildered by this material energy. That bewilderment makes us forget our true purpose. Okay, so the first thing all of you have to accept and understand is that you are actually a spirit soul servant of Krishna. Unless you can accept that, you cannot move further in your Krishna consciousness. It is not possible. You must convince yourself also. And therefore you have all these sadhana practices which allows you to become, yes, I am a spirit soul. I understand I'm a spirit soul. Maybe not so deeply. Everyone will understand different levels, but you will understand, and therefore you'll accept the statement in Shastra. If you don't accept the statements in Shastra, you will not be happy. Na im lokasti na paro na sukham na samsayatmanaha. So you don't accept it, you cannot be happy in this life nor in the next life also. Because Shastra is like a manual how to exist and survive in this material or get some satisfaction. That satisfaction we see it as happiness or gradation of happiness. Some people they get $10, they are very happy. For some other people, $10 is not enough. Right? Some people, they get $1 million, is still not enough. Yeah? So this gradation of happiness exists, and this is all existing, this material world. And the material world is meant for us to suffer. That's a fundamental, by design, you can say. Okay? It is designed so that you will not feel comfortable. But this is very amazing. Although the place is not designed for comfort, what are we doing? We are making things to be comfortable. And it doesn't seem to last though. Right? You buy let's say, for example, you buy a mattress, brand new mattress, no? And then the guy says 25-year warranty, 50-year warranty. After a few years, you don't feel comfortable anymore. The mattress won't work or something will go wrong. And then you buy a new mattress because they say it's better. You can sleep like a baby. Right? But they don't understand. You also get sick and your Vata, Pitta, Kapha goes out of balance. As you get older, some people can't sleep, So all this difficulty tends to come. So, Rupa Goswami, who is actually an eternal associate of Krishna, has under the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's empowered. He's empowered to give us this potency of going back to the supreme planet simply by following these instructions. Okay? So, first is very important is that you cannot counteract sinful activities by fire. So, very important. Remember that. So, because in our practice we think it's okay. I will chant extra rounds. And it's okay. But that means you are thinking I can do nonsense and then I can chant. So what aparadh is that? Seventh offense. Yeah. On the strength of the holy name, I will commit sins. So this is very practical. You have to be very practical about your life choices also. I am making a choice. I'm making a choice that I can overcome my sinful or wrong doings. I will continue with my sinful life, but I will chant also. So that tendency will actually cause a offense to the holy name. Sinful reaction is different from offense. Offense will hold you back like an anchor around your neck. That means you cannot make the advancement in your Krishna consciousness. No matter how many years you are chanting, Bahu Janmagarya Shravana Kirtanam Tabutaya Paya Krishna Pate Premadanam. Right? So many lifetimes someone is chanting, but they're like saying, I can't taste. Yeah, why? Because they are committing offense. Sin you can overcome. Yeah. Offense, you cannot just push it aside. You have to then perform activities to show your sincerity, beg for forgiveness. That's the difference. Yeah. You cannot sin, shoot somebody and say, please forgive me, and go. That is different. That is a sinful reaction. So similarly, you cannot do something and then say, I can offend somebody. I've heard one devotee tell another devotee something offensive. So then the devotee was saying, we are in the temple room, the deity is here, you cannot talk like that. Then the devotee said, no, we'll go outside and talk. How is that possible? The super soul is in the heart, no? Yeah. So offenses you cannot. You have to be very, very awakened to these small things in your life that you may think is okay, but it's not okay. Be very careful. So then Rupa Goswami talks about how one must control one's speaking, vacho. We have the ability to speak, all of us, very powerful speakers, everyone. All right, some are more eloquent than the others. Some are, you can say they have the gift of the gap. Some have silver tongue, golden voice, all these terms you have heard, yeah. You can see that as soon as we get an opportunity to speak, immediately we'll speak, right? If I say, I'll give you 5 minutes break, immediately the decibel level will go up, right? Isn't that true? Yeah. But if you do not speak about Krishna, then we can only speak about ourselves, about your neighbors, about your dog, a cat, or spider, or whatever. Basically, you only speak nonsense. Yeah, you will be speaking about things that are temporary in nature. Therefore, the result is you will only reap temporary benefits, if at all. Yeah. But if you speak about the eternal Lord, then you will also receive eternal thing. Now, this is a very challenging thing, no? So you have to consider this. How you're going to deal with that? How you're going to make sure that you do not speak nonsense. Yeah. So the active process that is advocated by Rupa Goswami is that try to speak about Krishna in your dealings. Mostly try. Now, it is different if you're working. Okay, in your workplace, you're doing some work. So therefore, that's okay. Because ultimately you're working to support your family who are all Krishna's servants. Yeah, so that is okay. If you have that consciousness, then when you go outside, you can work okay. You can become, get a promotion and everything, that's fine. But ultimately your purpose is that I want to make sure that I can support the temple, I want to, help devotees and things like that. If that is the basis for your wanting to work outside, that's fine. Your engagement with that is not considered wrong, actually. We will discuss that in the next verse, okay? Yeah. And then the next discussion that Rupa Goswami talks about is fickleness of the mind. Manasa Vega and Krodha Vegam also. So Manasa Vega, Mano Vega. Again, the mind is like a little child, you can see that child, she's running around, cannot stay in one place. The mind is like that, right? You put your baby and say, stay, the baby look at you and then crawl away, right? So our mind is like a child, like that. So we understand. So it's fickle. So how to control the great sages, our acharyas, everyone, even Krishna tells in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he says, try to control and focus your mind and meditate on the Supreme Lord. It's a challenge for all of us, how to focus our mind, right? That's like, although many of you are here, you may be thinking of other things also, right? You may hear a few words and then your mind is traveling 1,000 miles away, Maybe someone called you this morning from India and say, I lost so much, some money or whatever. So now you may be thinking, oh, they lost so much. Yeah, lucky I didn't lose. Right? We have that tendency. Someone's distress could be your happiness. Yeah. So all these things, you should realize that we have these tendencies to actually only think of our needs only, and not needs of other people. So how do you control your mind? You have a darshan of Krishna, and then the other thing is you listen about. Yeah, how much do you listen? How much do you listen? Right? How many hours you listen? Have a journal, keep a list. Every day you can say, this is my time for Krishna. How much do you, even japa you chant, how much do you really think of Krishna or hear his holy name? So you have to develop some techniques. So many techniques people tell you how to control your mind. So if you go on the car from your home to the workplace, you hear Prabhupada's classes. You hear Kirtan. So that way you will focus. Now if you hear the same lecture for 1 week, you should be able to remember the lecture. You should be able to at least speak 90% of the information there. So you should practice like that. How you practice as the lecture is going, you should be able to. So that is another way you are Krishna conscious. You can practice that. Although it may seem, oh, I can't, but you hear. I remember I used to say, before the word comes, I'll be saying also when I was working many years ago. Yeah, it's a very good way of keeping your mind without running all over the place. Because if you practice like that, later on when you sit to do your japa, you'll find that you can focus nicely. But of course, to also meditate, you cannot think you can meditate. That's the other thing. You have to ask permission. Most of us don't do that. You just take the bead bag and put your hand. Right? No, you should beg the holy name. Say, please, I am fallen. I can see myself. I have no taste. I want to think of many things, but I know this is the best thing to do. And my dear Srila Prabhupada has told us this is the best thing. And although I'm very fallen, I'm begging you, my Lord, I'm begging you, my dear holy name, you kindly help me focus. Every day you have to ask permission like that. Then you can chant. We are not big avatars, right? We are not We are not at that level, but so we have to accept. I'm fallen actually. So then you can beg also for the Lord's mercy. Okay, and so it's important. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada quotes Krishna Surya Sama Maya Haya Andakara Yahan Krishna Tahan Nahi Mayara Adhikar. Means Krishna is Surya Sama, is like the sun. So when the sun is there cannot be darkness. So Maya is compared to darkness. It covers us. Material energy covers like darkness. So if Krishna is in the mind, then the mind cannot be agitated. Okay. And so if you understand the purpose in the life, what the goal of life is, then you will take the strong pursuit of remembering these things. Okay? Seriously, if you really want to make changes in your life, then you have to accept. Remember I said, you're not the body, you're spirit soul, you're stuck in this world. What is my goal? What is the purpose? I'm here. Yes. Is your purpose just to get a degree and work? Is that it? And then what? Get a job? And then what? Earn money? And then what? Die after that. Buy a big house and then die. Okay, maybe buy a small house and die. Either way, it's the same. No, we are eternal beings, right? And we have a purpose. If there is no purpose in life, then it's really scary, actually. And that's why you find many people are suffering in the world. Many people have mental issues because they don't know, they are afraid. But if they all understand there is a purpose, there is a superior being who loves me. Most people are not loved in this world. It's a sad thing though. Their own family members don't love them. So coming here, the other thing is you need to practice is you should all learn to show affection to one another. It's very important. No? It's not just come here, you are not your own universe. But you behave like that. You come here, you try to help each other to go back to Godhead. Together you will be more successful than if you try to do it alone. Yeah, so those you have your cell phone, you can turn it on. Yeah. So together you can work to attain that. It's very important to understand. And then krodha vegam. We cannot stop anger. Once anger comes, you have to get angry with something. So therefore try not to get angry. Because everyone is trying their hardest to connect with Krishna. But you can get angry with people who are angry at Krishna or at another devotee. Then you can show your anger. That's how Hanuman also showed. He got angry at Ravana, and so he put fire in Lanka. Right? That's how he wanted to please Krishna. So that is a very good example of how using your anger. Okay, so in your life, if you find, let's say you read someone writes in some blog something bad about Krishna, you get angry and you write back the answers. Yeah, so that's okay, that's acceptable. Yeah. But that is what is accepted. Yeah. Of course, the next thing we have to understand is also that if you want to go more, is controlling the tongue, right? Jiva, the tongue. What is that? Ataha Shri Krishna Namadi Na Bhavat Graham Indri Sevan Mukhahi Jiva Swayameva Spuriti Adaha. Yeah. That, you cannot, in the beginning, your senses are all not properly controlled. They will, one sense will pull you this way, another sense will pull you. Everything is. But to control all the senses, you can start by controlling the tongue. So there is a verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. I think it's a very nice verse. Let me pull that up. Just hold on. It's when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu meets Raghunath Das Goswami. It's in Antya Leela 6, chapter 200, I believe, 27. I'll confirm in a moment. Yes. Jivara lala seye iti utidaya Shishnodara parayana Krishna nahi paya. One who is subservient to the tongue and who thus goes there, here and there, devoted to the genitals and the belly, cannot attain Krishna. Who is saying this? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu telling Raghunath Das Goswami. Yes. So you can see that very, very important. The Lord Himself is saying, you are subservient. That means the tongue becomes your master. So don't let your tongue control you. You are the soul. You are the master of your body and senses. But if you let these guys control, then it's just chaos. It happens because we are under material energy. The material energy covers our intelligence, covers our proper intentions, everything. We are under the clutches of Maya, Srila Prabhupada says. So then once we are under material energy, then it very much agitates the living entity to enjoy the senses, enjoy ourselves, enjoy the senses. And so we are agitated in this material world, either the tongue or the genitals. Yeah, these two agitate. You can see, you go on the highway, all the billboards are agitating the what? Tongue or the genitals. It is what it is. So you have to accept this is what it is. You left Punya Bhumi and you all came to Apunya Bhumi. They want to enjoy the senses. So now you have to also try to control your urge of your tongue and your genitals. Prabhupada also says the tongue, the belly and the genitals, they are in the straight line. So the tongue starts the agitation of the belly and the genitals. So therefore you need to control your tongue. Very, very. How you control? Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Tara Madhya Jiva Ati Lobamai Sugamati. Yeah. So that means we are talking about taking prasad. That's easy. Take prasad. That's one way. The other way is Nama Kirtan. Yeah. So also learn to chant whenever you find. So yeah, taking prasad is most important. If you take prasadam, Prabhupada also writes in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita that it purifies your consciousness. Okay. Many of you are working outside, and if you are just eating anyhow, what is that places they have? Cafeteria, food court, Subway, eat fresh, eat garbage. What is that? McDonald's, the Golden Arch, to a hell. What else? Burger King, you know. Huh? Vegan? Vegan houses. So all this may seem very attractive, you know. But remember, you know, all these are not prasadam. Yeah. So Krishna says in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he says, those who eat, they are without offering as sacrifice. They are verily eating sin, but they are also what? Thieves. Yes, they are thieves. So every time you don't offer and you put your mouth, you tell yourself, I'm a thief, I'm a thief, I'm a thief. So then you will get your reactions. The tongue is the most formidable enemy. Okay? Because of the tongue, you will commit sinful activities. Very strong. I look so many people out there. Because they want to eat meat and so on, so they don't mind killing the poor animals. They don't mind. They're like, I want to eat. Yeah, like that. Although there are so many nice food items for human consumption, people want to still commit sin just to satisfy the, right? The taste is only here, no? Once it goes down here, it's gone, no? Just this one area is committing so much nonsense. It's taking you back to hell. Yeah. And then that's one thing. The second thing is, as devotees, you all are practicing, you have to be very practical. How much to eat also. Prabhupada said, you hold 2 hands like that, you only should take that much. Right? So, no more paper plates. Right. Control yourself, you know, eat less. Everyone should eat less because most of you are not in the farm. You're not working in any farm. You're all sitting down in front of a laptop or whatever. And therefore, you will not actually digest properly. It's not possible. So, you will find that if you eat less, you will be less often sick. You will not be sick as yeah. So eat less, therefore you don't have to suffer more. If you eat more, then you have to see a doctor more. You need to have more medical insurance, things like that. You need to just eat to satisfy your needs and to keep the body fit. That's all, right? What to do? Adibhautika, no? You have to be careful. Yeah. So, when you look at a plate, you cannot judge through your eyes how much I can eat. You cannot do that. It's not going to help you. You cannot. You have to be intelligent. You have to know this is a good amount. So when you eat, you feel refreshed. So when you take, you can sleep properly, you get up also healthily. Of course, you have to eat properly for your child. But doesn't mean you eat double or triple also. But you eat properly. That's what I mean. So if you cannot control the tongue, it will agitate all the other senses, your intelligence, your everything. So when you control the tongue, then you can control anyone also you can. If you are firm in your determination, so how to get determination? Then we will also come to that in the next few days. You get determination by attending Mangalarti. Because it's hard to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. The mind will fight with you. But you determine with your consciousness, you get up. Every day you get up, and it psychologically it is there in the research papers. If you do this same activity for 1 month, you become the conqueror of the mind. So then you don't have any problem getting up at 4 in the morning, right? Something like that. I'm asking the doctor. Yeah, it is there. I've read some, psychology papers. They say 30 days, 1 month. So if you can do for 1 month, you can do for 2 months, right? If you can do for 2 months, you can do for more and more until the whole life you can. Yeah, right? Correct or not? So you're all eating every day, right? Except when Janmashtami, then you're not happy. Right? So that's the other thing in all these things. When you're fasting on a festival day, what do you think? When to break fast? So that means you're not Krishna conscious. Right? So these are some things you have to ask yourself. Why am I not thinking for the Lord? What is the impetus? No doubt it's nice that you are fasting, but you need to now understand your mind is actually in charge. And it is telling you, okay, I'll let you fast, but rascal, I'm hungry. I want to taste. Yeah, so even in the Bhagavatam, in the 11th canto, Krishna tells about how you can actually conquer all the other senses. You can close your eyes, you can control so many, your breath and everything. But if the tongue is not controlled, then Krishna says you are not considered a controlled person. You understand? So always ask yourself, how I'm going to control my tongue. So if you can control your tongue, then you're in full control of all your senses. Okay? So think of these things. That's very important. Remember, you eat, the energy goes to all the senses, but if the tongue is uncontrolled, then that energy will be wasted by doing sinful activities and so. So therefore, if you fast, then the senses become weak and they will lose the potency. But when you're fasting, who is hankering for the food? The tongue and the mind. Not the other senses, they are weak already. The tongue and the mind, they are the ones that cause all the problem. They're thinking, what will the preparation will be, right? Yeah. As soon as you eat, all the senses will go out of control, right? People fast 24 hours and then they will eat so much, Next day they have all diarrhea, this problem, headache and so on. And they are like, it's okay, as long as my tongue is happy. So in the same way, the example in the Bhagavatam also, they say, I think it's in the Bhagavatam, in the purport also, that the animal that represents the tongue is the fish. Okay. So the Bhagavatam, this is in the 11th canto, 8th chapter. Yeah. You can see that where the fish, he wants to enjoy his tongue. So therefore, the fisherman's hook comes in with whatever thing. So he wants to go and bite, and then his life is gone. So therefore, if you foolishly allow your tongue to disturb you, then your life is all ruined. You're just planning to satisfy your tongue all the time. So therefore, we shouldn't be so greedy to enjoy the tongue. So remember, only take prasadam and take adequate quantity. Yeah. One man's quantity is not another man's. It's all different. So take what is suitable for you. But don't overeat. Yes. Yeah. Then you'll be okay. Yeah. Yeah. So when you chant Sariraya Avida Jal, do you know the meaning? No. So I'll give you the translation. Right. Oh Lord, this material body is a lump of ignorance. So before you eat, you're saying, this body I have is a lump. And the senses are network of paths to death. Very nice prayer. Somehow we have fallen into this ocean of material sense enjoyment, and of all the senses, yes, the tongue is the most ferocious and uncontrollable. It is very difficult to conquer the tongue in this world. But you, dear Krishna, are very kind to us and have given us such nice prasadam just to control the tongue. Now we take this prasadam to our full satisfaction and we glorify their Lordship, Shri Radha and Krishna, and in love call for the help of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. We are calling for help. Right? So, how many of you call for help? Yeah, see, this is the problem, We are practicing, but we don't practice properly. And then we want to go back to Godhead. Huh? Yeah, you have to call. You have to call. So you guys are new, so learn the good things, and so that you practice properly. Don't just blindly do things, and then you waste your whole life. Gone, finish. Don't do those things. Yeah. There is a purpose behind why you're doing all these things, and that purpose must make sense to you also. And if it makes sense, then your prayers make sense. Right? So how many of you come every time to the temple? What do you all pray? Huh? What do you pray? That's your prayer. Okay. Service. Engage me in the service. You pray actually, you tell, yeah, you have to, Don't just come and look at the deity and say, hey, I'm here. You are here. Who's taking whose darshan? So come here, you tell them, I'm fallen. Be genuine with your prayers. And then you find, slowly you'll see Krishna will intervene in your life to show you how to get out of this place. Because you don't have, or we don't have the urgency to get out, and the Lord is okay, go ahead, suffer. And that's what's happening. And then we come back and say, so life is so difficult. Hare, if it's so difficult, why you don't want to go back? Do you all pray and say, I want to go back? Yeah, the practice must be there. You have to practice praying properly. In my travels and so on, people don't pray, They just come, they look at the deity, yeah, nice, pretty, yeah. Right? Nicely dressed. I mean, that's nice. The Lord is happy you're seeing Him that way, sure. But do you still want to hang around here in this material world? Prabhupada, as Maharaj also mentioned yesterday, Prabhupada told them, don't stay here. Pray to get out. You don't come back anymore. So you have to pray, help me get out. Yeah. So if you continue the process, you will taste Krishna consciousness properly. And then you become attached to it. The attachment will develop. And then you follow all the rules and regulations nicely because you have a purpose now. I want to get out. So I want to do all these activities properly. What Prabhupada has asked us, chant nicely. So you chant nicely. You follow the rules and regulations nicely. So when you do it properly, what happens? Your consciousness will rise to the mode of, if not Vishuddha Sattva, at least Sattva. And you will know when you are in mode of goodness, because you will do everything according to what Shastra tells you. If you're like, it's okay, that means you are not in the mode of goodness. You can tell on your own self how you are doing things based on that. I'm not making advance. I'm a lazy person. I'm still in the mode of ignorance. You can tell. I have no desire to go to the temple. You can tell. That means you are attracted to everything else in this world except God. Prabhupada said, Prabhupada said that Krishna has given us a tongue and 2 ears. And you may be surprised to know that Krishna is realized through the tongue and the ears. Shravanam Kirtan. It's amazing, no? Yeah, so you need to control them very well. So therefore, if you control the tongue, all the other senses will follow automatically. Yeah. Okay, so that's important for you all to understand. Okay, then the other thing we discussed briefly was speaking, Everybody wants to say something. And Prabhupada said, if you don't speak about Krishna, you must speak. You will speak what? Nonsense. Yeah. And it's just like the frog. He gives the example, no? The frog is making so much noise, and the snake of death is coming, attracted by the cries of the frog. Yeah, so similarly, you talk so much nonsense, eventually Yamaraj will come. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. So unnecessarily we shouldn't talk. Because you all are practicing, you all should make it a point that if I want to say something, it should help the other person come closer to Krishna. Or at least make me say something about Krishna. Of course, I mentioned earlier, if your work environment is different, it's understood you have to do your work. That's okay. Yeah. But not that you do nonsense in the work environment. Then you're a nonsense also. Okay. So it's not that you do mauna. Okay, I don't speak and then I'll be. Maunam is all nonsense also. Because who can sit down and cannot talk for a few minutes or hours? Very few people. Maybe if you go to Himalayas, you see a few people there. Or even in the Dham, you see sometimes they are all quiet like that. Yeah, but the best thing to control is talking about Krishna. That's the best way to control. Yeah, that is true mauna. Because materially we are talking nonsense. So we should engage like that. Yeah. So what does your spiritual master do? They are sabde pare. They will give you transcendental knowledge. Therefore you listen to them. We cannot. You can artificially blank your mind and say, I don't speak anything. It doesn't work, right? I'm sure all of you try to meditate on your own, right? In your home, thinking, I'm going to achieve it. It didn't last more than a minute, no? Or because you forgot, after a minute, the mind took it somewhere. Now after half an hour, you say, hey, I want to sit down again and meditate. And you try again, and after that, your wife or your friend will call, and that's it. Until the next time your realization comes, oh, man, what happened? So you will go outside. So many clubs are there, yoga system, right? They teach you to control. They don't teach you how to control. They are saying you have a good body to have sex. That's all. Keep your body healthy so you can have good sex. All nonsense. They are taking you to the royal road to hell. Yeah. Because they don't know the purpose of life. It's not their fault. It's just that they are all in ignorance. Yeah. So therefore, we have to help as many people as we can. So when you practically help people, even a little bit, you tell them, you're not there to proselytize, just say you are the best, this. No, just tell them, I do this helps. You can try. So that's very good. To encourage people to come to the path of mode of goodness at least. If they are in the mode of goodness, then it's easy for them to accept religious things. We are not here to convert people from Christianity or Muslim. No, we want them to practice properly. We are not here to defeat anyone. We want them to become lovers of God. That's all. If everyone loves God, there's no need to fight. We are all brothers and sisters, children of God. How can we, say I'm better than you? Right? Yeah. Sometimes you may be in a situation where they are all talking nonsense, right? You go to some place, then you feel left out, no? So you talk. No, you can keep quiet, Yeah. You don't have to engage in such discussion. Yeah. But if people talk, then you can say, I'm trying to be introspective. I'm trying to gather. You don't have to say anything. Just you can meditate or something like that. Okay. And that's how you avoid bad association. Unnecessarily you talk, you become associating for the wrong reasons, right? You talk and talk and talk, and the person will start giving his opinion, their views, and then suddenly you are caught up with all those things, and your consciousness gets contaminated. And so you have to be very careful also. Yeah, sometimes you have to find the best excuse not to waste your time talking nonsense. Maybe in your office at the water cooler you can spend 2 minutes and then you go away. Hey, I have this work that I have to accomplish. I'll see you. Nice talking. Yeah. Catch you tomorrow. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Then move on. Huh? Yeah, same place. Yeah, like that. So yeah, you limit your verbal activities, Otherwise you'll be one of those persons with verbal diarrhea, as they say. Unnecessary. People don't even want to associate with you. Yeah, so we are not interested in fame, right? Because we don't want to show people, I know I'm better than you. No, it's not important. What is most important is you want to develop your Krishna consciousness. You want to develop your love for Krishna. That's very important. It's not how well you talk nicely or not. It's not that. That is important when you want to help somebody. Yeah, then you find ways to talk nicely. Yeah. But mostly you have to be a good person, a well-wisher of everyone. Yeah? So think like that. And then when you talk, Prabhupada says, you should only speak that is essential. Okay? Otherwise, it's not worth your time. Okay? Yeah. And then the mind, it's flickering and unsteady. Yeah. Prabhupada talks about so many ways the mind will cheat you. Sometimes he says the mind will tell you, please, why not look at that beautiful girl? Why not look at the beautiful boy? Right? He looks like Amitabh Bachchan. Oh, what is the other guy now? Huh? Khanna, what is his name? Huh? Shah Rukh Khan, what else? That's good, you all don't know. Yeah. Similarly, right? All these ladies also. So the mind will say, look. Or it will say, oh, why not drink? It's okay. Yeah. Especially when you have young children, when your daughters and sons who go to college. Maybe they want to go out of the state. Why? Because they want to experiment. It's a fact. Most of the time, if they want to go, you have to be careful. So unless you teach values properly, they will experiment and they will say, "Let me try a liquor." The friends will say, "It's nothing. It's just wine," right? And then it can end up very serious. It could be a date rape, like that. Yeah. Or sometimes your friends will tell you, "Just come, let's try this." It's almost vegetarian. It's only got eggs. It's not so bad. And then if you are not so well trained, then you'll think it's okay. I'm telling you, I know, because devotee kids have experimented. They tell me many years later. They say, "Prabhu, I did all that." Yeah, because they didn't know better. Parents weren't helping them also. So why not do this? Why not do that? So mind is always dictating. How do you know how to control the mind? You have to read Shastra. Okay, so have a effective schedule. How daily you have to give at least. Prabhupada says grihasthas must read 4 hours a day. I think it will be difficult for many of you, right? You will read 4 hours of nonsense, but Shastra may be difficult. But at least read something. Yeah, start small. Yeah, start small. But I will insist and I will beg you all to read Krishna book before you sleep. It is very, very potent. Because you can dream of Krishna after reading Krishna book. So if you can read that, and then you will understand who you are. And you will understand the separation. Oh, I'm missing Krishna. Otherwise, what separation you all have? Separation from home to here. So then the mind will slowly it'll let go. You try to control your mind, you'll say, "Okay, you are in charge." And then the next moment you say, "I'm in charge." Yeah. And then you keep practicing Krishna conscious, the mind will get angry a little bit. So 1 week it won't disturb you, then suddenly it'll disturb you. Then suddenly it'll disturb you every day, then you'll stop. The mind will act on you like this. And then he won't disturb you for 1 month. Then suddenly he'll make you go, "I have to eat and drink," The desire will come because it's all here, stored in that mind, and it'll pull, like a random access. It says, "Oh, time to eat." Garbage. Yeah. So, then you can control your senses. If you're under the control of senses, Prabhupada says you are Godasa. If you control senses, then you are Goswami. Yeah. Or Swami. Master. Somebody is practicing nicely. That's nice though. When the Jai Radha Madhava is sung, you should remember, where this the Lord is, who is Radha Madhava, how is he with Krishna? Yeah, Radha is with Krishna, and where is he? In the Kunja. He's enjoying with the gopis in the Kunja. He's Gopi Jana Vallabha. Not Jana Sangha. We all go for Jana Sangha, but that's Gopi Jana. So when you hear that, you understand, oh, this is where they are. So your mind must raise that place. This will happen if you are particular in understanding why I'm chanting, why is this prayer like this. You have to ask yourself, why is the prayer written this way? All right. So at home, that the person who sang has reminded me, you take time to sing, or if you don't have, come here and sing the bhajans of Narottam Das Thakur. You all should sing. Practice singing at home or here, and then you can read the purports. And then contemplate and ask yourself what I can do, what we can do. Yeah. So the mind is a root cause of lust, anger, pride, greed, lamentation, and illusion, bhaya, and fear. So therefore you are bound to act in bondage in these fruitive activities because of the mind. It is the root cause. So one way is to always, when the mind goes away into something wrong, you pull it back. You say, wait a minute, I know you want to go there, but for now I want to be here. I want to be present in this situation, like that. So it is a training, you have to train, just like you train many things in your life, mind also must be trained. And finally it will listen, but it will take a while because your mind has been free to do for many millions and millions of lifetimes. Therefore you are suffering now. Yeah. Which is why you should give time to chanting, japa, give time to reading, and then give some time to singing and remembering Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, like that. In a day, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he works for 6 hours a day. And every other activity is only for Krishna. Right? That means 25% of his day is only for work. 75% is given for Krishna, including eating and sleeping. He sleeps, of course, he sleeps very little. Right? He sleeps between 2 to 3 hours a day. I mean, the point is, he's showing you can sleep 6 hours a day, but if you're focused on Krishna, then that sleep is for Krishna. That's the point I'm making. And so you ask yourself, of course, after Janmashtami, next day is Prabhupada, and then after that, all of you crash out, Yeah, that's okay because you need to recover. That's fine. Yeah. But then the day after, you should not allow this fatigue and so on to overwhelm you because the mind will say, no, you need more rest. Unless you have a medical doctor saying that, I won't accept. Of course, those with babies and so on, you can sleep extra. Yeah, that's fair. They need to take care. So that is their service. Taking care of children for Krishna's benefit. The child you get is a gift of Krishna. It is not yours. So therefore you need to raise them exposed to Krishna. Okay? Okay, so Nama, you chant, Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. All these are very important. If you can, so that's why I say you read Krishna book daily before you go to bed. Do it. It's very effective. Very effective. Then you will have taste for chanting. It'll come. It's not overnight, Everything, as I mentioned, is a practice, So you have to practice. With the right intent, with the proper prayer and saying, I want to taste the holy name. I want to go back to to do service eternally in the spiritual world, not stay here eternally and do service. We are not liberated beings, We are not Jivan Mukta. Is that Ya Rahasya Haridasya Karmana Manasagya? No. Manasagira. What is the last word? Is Jivan Mukta Sauchate is the last word. The middle, third line I can't. That is Nicholas. Thank you. Okay. So use everything in the service of Krishna like that. Then you are a Jivan Mukta. Try to ask yourself how to connect. That's one thing. If you think daily, you'll get better at it also. And then you can talk to others. How I'm not sure how I can use these things to connect to Krishna. How do you do it? Like that. You can ask around, which is why you all should help each other. It's not like, I found the way, I'm not telling anyone. The very fact you're not telling means you are envious. And in the spiritual world, there's no room for envy. So you won't be able to go back here. Right? Right. So then, of course, for grihasthas, you have to practice sex life properly, only for having a child and to raise them in Krishna consciousness. Yeah. Otherwise, practice celibacy. Yeah. And then the more you are practicing celibacy, that's the other way to get determined. You become very strong. No one can take you away from Krishna. Yeah. If you indulge in sex, you can have no determination. You become very weak. People will control you easily. Yeah. If you are impatient, it is due to excessively loss of determination. That's why you're impatient. Right? And especially kids, they play all those media things. They become very impatient. That's why the games are so fast. You watch them, you're like, what's wrong with this? You can't even follow. The kids are like ding 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 ding, all this. Right? It's amazing. And of course, loss of determination comes from excessive sex indulgence, which is why you see many of your friends out there, they may not have determination. You wonder why? It's because they indulge from young age, they indulge unnecessarily. This world is like that. And so therefore there's a lot of problem. Okay. All right, it's 8:20. I think I've covered pretty much everything, right? So our bhakti yoga is meant to train our mind and senses so that we can fix it on the Supreme Lord. You can't just say, I've meditated 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day. That's useless. Because 10 minutes you do, then the rest of the 23 hours, 15 minutes you're doing nonsense. How is your mind going to be controlled? Yeah. How can the problems of life be solved so cheaply? Right? So, no. But the beginning is to chant Hare Krishna. That's the starting. By chanting, you will control your the whole mind and the senses. That's the beginning, and you have to do as. And we are fortunate because Srila Prabhupada brought this holy name. Golokera Premadana Harinama Sankirtan. So from Goloka, Mahaprabhu brought it, and then after that, Srila Prabhupada brought it here. So this is very important, and this is the best way to attain the pleasure of Krishna and the previous acharyas. So come together and you all chant. All right, I'll stop here. Some comments, questions, and if you feel you want to correct me, feel free to do so. Yeah.
Wonderful. Very, in fact, very inspiring, and hopefully, imbibe.
To put closer.
Yeah, hopefully, we'll try to imbibe all the, if not all, some of. So, Maharaj, we see that even karmis, though they are indulging in many of the manners, when they're not practicing celibacy, we see that they also have a lot of determination in what they want to achieve. So, are we talking about determination only in the spiritual aspects of it, or determination in general?
It is both, but sometimes you find some of these people, they have from their previous life, karma and so on, they have acquired some abilities. But that is not the same as our determination to focus on spiritual things. They may be determined for material things and they are able to do that. But you ask them to focus on or meditate on the Lord, it's not possible for them. Yeah. Although they may be very good in their fields, determined to create some games or whatever, they can put their energy. But when it comes to spiritual things which are subtle, they cannot focus on that level. Yeah. So that determination is different. Although it may seem similar. But at the same time, if they can use that determination and they realize Krishna is important, then they can utilize it. Yeah. Otherwise, they will not be able to.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Yeah, wonderful plan. So I have a question that, like, you are saying after earning more money, they build big house and die, or small house die, right? But often think that, okay, I'm not, I might be enjoying, but my kids are enjoying.
Yes.
How my father gave to me, I'm giving to my kids. What is the wrong in it?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong if you want to think like that, right? But you're perpetuating the same problem. Your father gave you and he didn't teach you the right things. Having a relationship with God it's our purpose in life. Otherwise, you're going to die and come back again. Your father will die and come back again. And you're just perpetuating the same problem that we don't want to exist in, right? Yeah. So we cannot accept that kind of things. Our purpose is that we are here to understand that we are His eternal servants. So what is the point in building a big house and living there? If you have a big house, then if you use it in the service of Krishna, then you may get the right understanding. You may get purified. You can help people to also have a connection with the Supreme Lord. So that is acceptable. That's okay. But if you simply have a big house, mostly people have big house, what they do there? No, honestly, you're a very intelligent person, all of you. You have big houses. How much of your time you spend in the house? Maybe on the weekends, maybe. Right? But the whole week, where are you? So it's a blessing, no? So COVID is a blessing, so many of you at home. But you're only in one cubicle at home. Still. Yeah. I don't know. It's like a horse on the racetrack. There's a blinkers, I can't see anything else. So you're working on the laptop. You don't see your house. How can you enjoy your house actually? Can you roll on the floor? Well, how do you enjoy your house? The most you can do is invite people and say, look, we're so nice. And they're like, oh wow, and then that's it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for saying. I had a god sister. They had a nice, decent house. They were not happy. So she saw her friends buying big house. So she forced her husband to buy big. So they bought like a 4-room house, big house. 3 big rooms up there. Then downstairs 1 room, a kitchen. Then one day she invited devotees and then they were all talking and then the prasadam. Then during prasadam, one person asked, you have so many rooms, who's staying? She said, nobody, Prabhu. We hardly go upstairs. And then she said, so difficult to clean. And so purpose is meaningless. Yeah. So yeah, from a material point of view, we think it's so wonderful, everyone will recognize us. It's just fame, What is fame for you in this life? Who's going to remember that when you die? Right? So therefore we are very shallow in thinking, this is wonderful. But one who understands spiritual life will think long term. what is eternally beneficial, right? So therefore you must use things properly for the purpose of connecting with Krishna. Then if your father has taught you that, then that's fine. You buy big houses for congregational preaching, Nam Hat, that's fine. But if your Nam Hat is only once a month, what is that? It's just a hut.
Krishna Maharaj. Very nice class, Maharaj. Thank you. My question is, when in the class you said, engage with your relatives, friends, talking about Krishna. Sometimes it goes in the right way when I talk to them, and sometimes not a fruity way. So, is there any tips you can,
For
starting the conversation or engaging them in Krishna consciousness?
Okay, so that's a very, can you hear? Yeah, it's a good question, because sometimes you want to talk to a person, they may be suffering also. So you want to ask them how they're doing and so on. And if they only talk, sometimes they may talk about, you may meet your nephew and they talk about football or something, cricket or whatever. So yeah, you can talk a little bit, that's okay, that's fine. But then you can always, highlight the importance of goal of life also, You can say, this is very nice, I want to tell you something also. Yeah, which is very good for you, You don't have to, take it in the wrong way. Yeah, I just want to say this has helped me and I'm a better person than I used to be. So I want to share with you. Do you wish to hear? Yeah. You don't force it, but you can say in such a way that they say, okay, I'll listen. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So then you share like that little bit. Don't give a big kata, Just a short. It's true, because people's attention span is not. So give a little, maybe you can tell a story, small, short story, and say, it's important, I want you to think about this, like that. In that way, it may be engaging and they may, like what you do. And sometimes people in need also, they may be suffering. You can, if they are relatives, you can give some donation, say charity. That's okay. It's okay sometimes, to help them in needs. But if they are eating meat and doing nonsense, you don't give charity like that. Yeah, no, then don't. Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So Maharaj, sometimes
Shika. How's Gopal Raj?
she's doing really good.
Okay.
We also have Shishi got right now.
Oh, you're expanding.
So Maharaj, if we have some extra pocket of time, we've done our prescribed rounds of chanting and hearing and reading, and sometimes some extra time comes, then should we spend that time more on chanting or reading or deity worship?
Well, I think, you should make a plan of what you want to achieve. You can have a short-term plan, you can have a long-term. You're from management, you should know all this. So therefore you ask yourself, what do I want to achieve? So when you have the main goal and then you have sub-goals, right? I mean, some people may not like it, but if you have that, what you want to achieve, then you can read extra, or maybe write a paper on your realization, journal. Or maybe you want to cook something special for Gopal Raj and Gaunita, like that. So those things are connecting you more with Krishna. Obviously, if you are good at chanting, then chant. Yeah. But generally, you chant. When you chant, the most important thing is you give that time that you're chanting for Krishna. That's important. Yeah. Then after that, you can do other things. That can support the chanting. Yeah. Or I don't know what do you say, pocket, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Yeah.
I mean, you make that thought.
Yeah.
If it's important, then you make time. Like I finish my rounds in the morning, then I try to read and listen. But then I also feel that, oh, I just finished it in the morning, and maybe I should chant some more during the day because it's so important. I'm just packing everything in the morning. So that thought comes.
It's possible, but my point is, unless you understand the philosophy behind it also, then you will end up just chanting, and you may be successful in going back to God. But if you don't have a proper philosophical support, your mind will defeat you. So the way to purify your mind, as I mentioned earlier, is you have to read Prabhupada's books. Also, you should also know the philosophy in the fingertips. So that if someone new asks you why you're chanting, what are you going to say? Just chant. You can't, right? You have to give them something that they can hold on to and understand. Oh, Shika is doing it because this is the reason. So understand some philosophy also that you can share. Yeah. Right?
Maharaj, I used to like you're so used to studying and understanding everything intellectually, and then I would early on I would try to memorize and understand, and am I able to speak all 5 points? And then
No, that's not what I'm
over
saying.
the years,
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if someone asks you, why are you always chanting? How would you tell them that they will understand and accept what you are saying? Yeah. It's not, I know, it's not like regurgitating something you hear. No, you must have some realization. Yeah. It's more important you realize why you're doing it than just repeating something. It's okay to repeat, but behind the repetition must be understanding. Okay? Yeah.
then my husband, I'm fear of falling down, so that's why I keep chanting.
That's fine. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Maharaj. When you say that you call Krishna and whenever you need something, first before doing anything, you call him and then you start doing.
For devotional practice, yeah.
Yes. Can you explain that properly? Because sometimes I feel that Krishna knows what is in my heart. Why do I have to keep calling him all the time?
It's just like a lot of people, they don't want to come to the temple, because they say Krishna knows what I want. So you're doing exactly what they say. You understand? Yeah. And then that's one thing. Second thing is, you don't want to pray. You're thinking he knows. So you are acting in an arrogant fashion. You're very proud. Yeah. By praying, you're showing humility. That I'm dependent on you. Yeah. Yeah. Just like if somebody comes, if you wish them and ask them to come, they'll feel you are inviting them. But if you look at them and then how they know whether you really mean it or not? Yeah. So this is a personal relationship we are trying to cultivate. Whereas what you're saying is you are advocating impersonalism in an indirect way. Yeah. You understand?
Only if you ask for something.
Will the bhav also start taking place? Yes. Yeah. Then you can cry also. Truly cry. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Otherwise, we can wrap it up. I thank all of you for coming. I appreciate. We will continue with the next verse tomorrow. No? Atyahara prayasyascha. Tomorrow.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. It's a wonderful class. I have summarized. I want to quick summarize the class. So you said like first 7 verses are important, and first 4 verses of Nectar of Instruction, Upadesamrita, is most important, very important for sadhaka stage. And sinful activities cannot be counteracted with the pious activities. atonement can be done through the pious activity, but the sinful tendencies will not go. And austerities purifies our desire. Our tendencies are not aligned with Krishna's desire. Then we need to work on it. So we need to understand that I am spirit soul and servant of Krishna will drive us through the spiritual life progress. And tongue is among all speed, tongue is very voracious, so we need to be, so it represented as with fish, how fish get caught by the hook, we also get caught in this material universe. And don't overeat and eat prasadam only. We need to pray that I am fallen, please engage me in your service. It is not that we just come simply and see the deities or simply bow down. We need to pray as well. And we need to keep quiet when people are talking asatsanga nonsense, and speak what is essential. And we have to develop love for the God. So we need to constantly question what I am doing. Is that helping me or not? Or how better I can do? We can discuss with our Siksha Guru or other devotees. And read Krishna book every night before you sleep, so that you will make a connection and you will get a dream about Krishna.
Yes.
It's a wonderful class. As usual, Maharaj, we want to continue to hear.
Yeah. Just want to say, the first four, as for sadhakas, they can practice, but doesn't mean the others are not important. Like I said, up to 7 and 8 sadhakas should do all those things. Because after that, it becomes a higher level of realization and practice, going into Raganuga, actually. So that's what I want to add here.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay.
Thank you, devotees, for attending this class. Tomorrow also we'll be gathering here at the same time this evening. Hare Krishna. His Grace Radha Krishna Prabhu